guys, so yesterday was February the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Now, if you spent Valentine's Day single, you don't need to worry, because I'm going to go through some ultimate book boyfriends that you need to read on your TBR so that next Valentine's Day you maybe don't feel as lonely. Let's dive in and talk through some of the ultimate book boyfriends. And also, in the comments, if I've missed any, let me know who your ultimate book boyfriend is. Some may be from fantasy, some may be from romance, some may be from dark romance. Let's dive in. I'm going to start with You, Me and Forever by Laura Pavlov, because I do think Miles St. James is an ultimate book boyfriend. Now, this man, he's very affluent. He goes into smaller towns, takes over businesses, builds these really big hotels, but, you know, not monstrosities as everyone seems to think he's going to build. And when he turns up to the small town of Blushing, Montana is just like, who is this guy? Now, the reason he's the ultimate book boyfriend is because this man is giving. This is a giving man. This man will make sure that you've had your pleasure before he has his pleasure, which is exactly what happens in this book. She gets a little bit of something from him and runs away. And he doesn't ask for anything in return until obviously they realise that they're sworn enemies and they shouldn't spend any time together. But yeah, a very giving book boyfriend for you, Miles St. James. Honestly, when I read this book, I was kicking and screaming. I absolutely adored him. And we have All Too Well by Corinne Michaels. Now, I love a grump. I just love a grumpy man when I get to read his point of view and realise he's not actually a grump. Because let's be honest, have we ever come across a true grump where it doesn't lead to sunshine? No, I don't think we have. I don't think I'd want to read a grumpy sunshine where he doesn't fall for the girl. This is Lachlan. Now, Lachlan, he's a bit grumps. He's a bit broody. He doesn't really know what he wants. But once he makes that decision, he makes that decision. He just might not tell anybody else he's made that decision. The reason he can be a book boyfriend is obviously you're inside his head. So you know that he loves her. You know he's obsessed with her, that he can't think about anybody but Ainsley. However, if you were to look at him from the outside, you might not realise that Lachlan is the ultimate book boyfriend. Not only did he have a kid, she dumps the kid on him and he wants full custody of that beautiful child. Not only did he not be with anybody really for the last 4 years after he kissed Ainsley, not only does he feel very protective over her, he wants her. And that like guttural need that he has for her is absolute perfection. So yeah, I have a single dad on the ultimate book boyfriend list. Oh, it slightly kills me to say it, but yeah, I do have a single dad. Lachlan, you were a whirlwind. I didn't know if we were coming or going with you, and I liked being kept on my toes. And is it any surprise that an LJ Shen book, maybe a couple, will end up being on this list? So this is The Kiss Thief by LJ Shen. This is Francesca Rossi, but her boyfriend is not Angelo Bandini as she thought. It is Senator Wolf Keaton. Now, I don't know why I actually think he should be on the book boyfriend list. He is evil. He is twisted. He is aggressive. He takes what he wants when he wants it. But he's a strong man, and I like that about him. There's a scene that makes me cry in this book, but he's very no bullshit is probably the best way to put it. Like, he does not take any shit. And I really like that about Senator Wolf Keaton. Did it take me a little bit of time to warm up to this book boyfriend? Yes. But once I did, I was fully set on him. Like, I am 100% committed to him. He's had some trauma. He's had some things he's had to overcome. He is creating a world that he thinks is going to be a better place without as much mafia involvement. Love that for him. But once he does love you, he loves you hard. Let me just say that. Like, he is obsessed. He's a little bit of an obsessive man. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but this book may bring you to tears when he approaches things in a certain way. Like, he's just a little bit aggressive. But overall, great book boyfriend to have. We have to move on to a fantasy one now. So this is Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and you meet Lo Morland. I was like, what's Lo's surname? Morland. I don't know necessarily if he is a book boyfriend because he's the best person for Misery. Of course, him and Misery are great together, but I actually think he's the book boyfriend because of his protectiveness of his family. He's got a younger sister who's a little bit different. He is in charge of a pack that he's very protective over. Like, that loyalty that people have to him isn't just because he is the alpha, it's because he's earned that loyalty. And he's a guy who will go above and beyond to protect the people in his life, and that's why I think it makes him an ultimate book boyfriend. Like, if you've got someone in your corner no matter what, you know he's going to back you, you know he's going to be there for you 100%, then yeah, Lo is the best. Now, him and Misery obviously are from two very different worlds. She's a vampire, he's a werewolf. They maybe don't fit together in the way that they should. They start to work that out. They're fine. But I just love his unwavering loyalty to the people around him. He doesn't even expect loyalty from them necessarily. He gives his loyalty until proven otherwise. And yeah, and the fact he can change into a wolf, like, oh, come a full moon, I would love to watch that shift happen. Yes, please. This one is King of Envy by Anna Huang, and this is where you meet Vuk Markovic, I think is how you say his surname. Now, do I think Vuk is the ultimate book boyfriend because he goes after what he wants? No. This guy is a respectful king. His best friend is engaged to the love of his life, and he ain't gonna cross that line. He's gonna respect his best friend until obviously he starts to realise maybe he can cross the line. But that guy is so respectful, whilst being so protective of the girl he loves. He sees it more as a friendship protection. She's like, right, I love her, but she's gonna marry my best friend, so I'm still gonna be in her life in some way if I possibly can, but I'm gonna do more of a brotherly maybe not brotherly, I feel really weird saying brotherly, but you know, that kind of protective friend brotherly vibes. He's gonna go for that until he realizes that maybe that engagement isn't legitimate and he could make his move. I also love him because he's a selective king. He will not speak unless he needs to. Like, rarely does he speak. And I absolutely love that. It's kind of like someone who won't give their opinion unless it's necessary. I really respect that in a person. So as a book boyfriend, Vuk, this is my favourite book so far in the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. Who knew it took a selective, respective king, it rhymes, to get me so hooked on this series. Before that, the other 4 books were great. Got to this book and I was like, yes, yes, yes. The Queen has written a man that I can fall in love with. This is Pen Pal by JT Geisinger, and I can't tell you, without spoiling it, why Dante is the ultimate book boyfriend. So if you haven't read this book, maybe just skip a minute ahead. But if I'm still holding this book up, I'm still talking about it. But I think I'm going to start saying something spoilery here. So if you haven't read it, just bear it in mind, because I can't talk about Dante without it. So Dante is in love with Kayla. Kayla can't work out why Dante is in love with her. She thinks she's never met Dante before, and therefore is like, why would this man be so obsessed with me? He's obsessed with you because he knows you, and he is willing to wait for you to put the pieces together to solve your own internal problems and to come find him. I don't feel like that's actually too spoilery saying that, but I just don't want to spoil this for anybody in case they haven't read it. But yeah, Dante, you don't realise, I think, until maybe the last 2 chapters that he is going to be a book boyfriend, but once you realise what this man has gone through, you're like, yeah, king. He is a king as well. Like, I feel like I'm just saying king for all of them, but this guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So yeah, I'm going to put the book down now, and the spoiler section is complete. Okay, then we have Ruthless Creatures by JT Geisinger, which is the first in the Queens and Monsters series. I think Cage is the ultimate book boyfriend just because he hasn't killed you. Like, he is sent by the Russian mafia to remove you, Natalie, from the world. So he turns up at your door. He's meant to ask some questions because they do not believe that your husband is dead. He rocks up and thinks, wow, that woman is so beautiful, I can't remove her from the world. Now, Cage has never been the type of person to not complete his missions from the Russian mafia. So when he rocks up and goes against his loyalty, his family, everything, like, he is literally putting his life on the line for you because he sees you and thinks you are the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. Now, that is the kind of book boyfriend you need in your life. Like, imagine if someone knocks at your door meant to kill you. They're like, wow, she's so pretty, I can't remove her, and I'm gonna hide her from the Russian mafia. Like, he's not even just not removing you, he's going above and beyond to keep you safe. Now, normally in the mafia books, I have to say this, mafia men aren't that protective of their women. But Cage, he is a protective one, and we love that. We stand for that. We support that. So yeah, if you haven't read this series, I think the second book's even better than the first book. There's just something about Cage. He will always draw me in. I have Dear Reader by Tate James. Now, technically there are multiple book boyfriends from this book. We like a white shoes. You can't go wrong with white shoes. I'm a white shoes girly. I think the reason I love these book boyfriends so much is they give her something different. Often in a white shoes, you tend to find they go to these kind of like intense sex scenes where they're all sharing her and fine, they're having a bit of fun. Whereas I feel like with this series, the guys all provide something different. So one obviously does provide her love and sex, fine. One of them provides her experiences, like he takes her away. One of them is just friendship and loyalty. One of them is answers. Like, I feel like you get a lot from these guys, and it's not necessarily the fact that they all go in a room and just get down to it, a little time. No, it's not that. I actually love the fact that's so bad. I actually love the fact that each of them are giving her something that she is needing in her life. Like, she is needing these things in her life, and they all provide that. So yeah, I feel like 4 3/4 ultimate boyfriends here is just what you need. And if you haven't read this series as well, as much as these are going to be your book boyfriends, there's 3 books, it's a trilogy, get your tissues ready, because there's going to be a little bit of trauma with this one. I have a new book boyfriend. You guys can't meet this one till March, but you can put this on your TBR for March. This is Across the Vanishing Skies by Catherine Cowles, and this is Dex. Now, Dex is the grumpiest of all grumps I think I've ever met. Like, I generally wasn't sure what to think when I first started reading Dex's point of view. Like, I was like, is he even going to melt a little bit? Like, he is a guy who can hack computers, who got caught hacking by the FBI and was forced to work for them for 10 years. So this guy's intelligent. They keep talking about the fact he wears glasses, which I love as well. Like, he's a nerdy book boyfriend. So if you're someone who likes less of the chiseled, well, I think he is still a chiseled man, but you know, the standard boy next door book boyfriend, and you want a little bit of a nerd who's got a traumatic past, who's got some trouble in his life, then Dex is your guy. Because once Dex loves you, Dex is protective over you. Dex falls hard. He ain't gonna stop doing what he needs to do to make sure that you're safe. And I just love that for Dex. Love language isn't necessarily someone saying I love you. It's someone saying I trust you. That was a really pivotal point for me, is he needs someone to feel all in, not necessarily in their heart, but in their head as well. And I love that about him. So yeah, when you guys get to meet Dex in March, you're gonna be enjoying it. I also did a vlog of this without any spoilers, so you can watch me reading it, which is the video before this, if you do want to watch and see my experience, or you can wait till March and watch it after then. Completely up to you. But I did it without spoilers, other than the fact I'm just in tears quite a lot of the time. But that's what Catherine Cowles does to me. But a why choose. This is Unhinged by Steph Mackett, and now this is a why choose where it's just these guys are just absolute psychos who are protective over her. I don't necessarily think, like, bear in mind we talked through Dear Reader by Tate James, I don't necessarily think these guys add anything different other than they add stuff where they should. I just think that these guys know they're obsessed with Avery, and they're happy to share Avery because not one of the 3 would want to be without her. And I kind of like that they put their differences aside for the freaky time with Avery. They, like, obviously they do support her. There's a lot that goes on with the story, but I think the fact that these men, like a couple of really close friends, one of them's kind of a little bit of an enemy, like, they can put all that aside for her. That's when you know it's ultimate book boyfriend, because they're willing to, I wouldn't even say go against their morals, but they're willing to, you know, test themselves to make sure they keep Avery in their life. So that is always a big win for me. There was going to be a couple of LJ Shen books. This is the second one, I believe, Bad Bishop by LJ Shen. I have the artwork sent to me for this one, which I love. Okay, so this is where you meet Tiernan. Now, Tiernan's part of the Irish Mafia. He is a psychotic man. Like, someone, can you see it on this picture? No, you can't, but he's actually wearing an eye patch because someone in the first chapter removes his eye. Like, full on, out. And he meets Lila at that point and potentially could drown her, but chooses not to. So not only does he save her life, he saves her life twice. So Lila falls unexpectedly pregnant and unwantingly pregnant. I have to say, that's not a spoiler, but she does fall unexpectedly and unwantingly pregnant. And he is the type of person who isn't going to gain anything necessary from being with her, but he knows it protects her to be with her. Of course he's going to gain it because he's got connections in with the Italian mafia family. Of course he's going to gain something from it, but actually he sees this as a girl who supposedly isn't all there mentally, and he wants to protect her. And my goodness, does that protection go on throughout the book. At times, do you want to strangle Tiernan when, like, there's a whole scene involving her making, I think she's making a sandwich in the kitchen. If you know, you know. Did I physically want to rip those pages out the book because I was so furious at Tiernan? Yes. Yes, I did. But you start to see him soften to her. You start to see this love that he has towards her growing, but the protectiveness from day one is there. And that's what I like. Like, this is a mafia man who, okay, he has to do it, but he's gonna do it with class. And I like that. I really like Tiernan. I'm excited to see where this series goes. We know we're gonna get 7 books, but I don't know if we're gonna beat him for me. That's the thing, we should do, like, at some point I should do a video of who my favourite was first time reading it round, but then actually reflecting on it, who's my favourite. Because I often think I fall in love with the first book the most because it's the first time I'm experiencing the world. But on reflection, is it my ultimate book boyfriend? We will see with this one. praised by Sarah Kate. Did I just put him on because he's a dad who should not be touching her, but is teaching her? Yes. This is a teachy guy. I like him because he's teaching her what she wants in safe boundaries. So she knows she's a little bit kinky. She knows she's a little bit taboo. Her boyfriend is just like, honestly, his son is scummy. So of course she's going to go for the dad. Of course she's going to upgrade to the more mature man. And I am here for that kind of life. Yeah, I love it. He has this whole battle internally when he's with her, like, oh God, what will people think? What will people look at? But at the same time, like, he is fiercely protective over her, which I absolutely love. And you wouldn't think like an owner of a sex club would be good at kind of monogamy, but he's really good at monogamy. I don't know if that's the best thing to say, like, oh, he's a book boyfriend because he can actually stick to one girl. Like, is that a winning quality? Do you know what? In the taboo world, yeah, it is. It is a winning quality, 100%. I'm going to talk Kea Moronova, and I know you're going to be shocked by this, but my ultimate Kea Moronova book boyfriend is Cameron Morton. Why am I drawn to him? I do not know, but he is poetic in the way he speaks. Like, he walks around reading books that he knows inside out. There's a limited amount of books in Dark Military, in the Dark Forces, surprise, surprise, but he knows them inside out. Like, he is annotating his books. Like, that is the type of book boyfriend I want. A boy who's as obsessed as books as me, and we can talk about books together. Yes, please. Okay, he might try and kill me at some point. He might forget to take his black pills, and it could lead to absolute chaos unfolding and me no longer being alive. But it's a risk I'm willing to take if we can have some good discord about some books that we like. Like, I feel like that's great. There's a one bed trope. He's very protective of you. He braids her hair when she doesn't remember how to braid her hair. Spoiler, I shouldn't have said that. Might have to take that little sentence out or put like, spoiler coming. But yeah, I love him. The way, like, when you read his chapters, you just feel this like trauma and darkness in him and a real poetic ability. Like, the last chapter of the first book, yeah, that does make sense. I just looked at the writing style of that and thought, yeah, Cameron, Mr. Cam, you are my man. So yeah, I think everybody always thinks I'm going to go Bones and Bunny because we know my love for Leave Me Behind. But he drew me in. He drew me in so much, I can't let him go. We have Xander from Honor by Danielle Baker. I didn't think I was going to love this series as much as I did. It made me realise how much I love a single mom trope. So in the single dad trope, of course the dad is often left with the child. Like, they don't always have a choice, or they've chosen it. But at the same time, like, that maternal instinct is there. No, paternal instinct is there because they've seen the child being born. Whereas in single mom trope, like, Xander doesn't have to turn up for Teddy's children. Xander doesn't have to be present. Xander doesn't have to be protective of these children. That naturally might not come to him because he hasn't got children of his own. But the way that he is willing to be there for Teddy in any way, whether that is romantic, whether that is friendly, whether that is just looking out for her, he is going to continue to show up. And that does something to my ovaries. Like, that makes me swoon. That makes me swoon more than a single dad trope, because this guy could walk away. He doesn't have to get into a relationship with Teddy. He doesn't have to want to be there for Teddy. Yet he keeps knocking on her door and showing up. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. Of course, he's seen her giving birth as well. Like, imagine seeing someone giving birth who, it isn't your child that's being born. It's nothing to do with you. It's your brother's best friend's little sister. So you shouldn't have any connection to her. And this, like, Papa Bear comes over him where he's so protective over Teddy. And also, he's a hot firefighter. Like, ooh, the images that play in my head. It's a risky job, but we know he's going to be hot. We know he's going to be chiseled under that shirt. So yeah, that helps the image a little bit as well. Final one for this one, because I think we could do this in a few parts, honestly. I have a lot of book boyfriends, is Gabriel Wolf. I like a changed man. So this man has had one night stands. He doesn't kiss the girls on the lips whilst he's doing the business. He doesn't hold their hands. He doesn't walk them to the door. Like, he just goes in, goes out, off he goes. Like, he ain't sticking around. Yet when he meets Brinley, he kind of gets this warm feeling. It's kind of like the Grinch. His heart grows a few sizes and he's like, I might like to hold her hand. I might like to maybe have babies with her one day. Like, I love a changed man. Now, sometimes you read the player books and you think, no, they're a player. They're not going to change. Their ways are set. With him, I don't necessarily think he was a player in that sense. I think he was just waiting for the right person to come along. It just felt different to some of the other player books that I read. And Paisley Hope has written him in such a way that you warm to him so slowly. It's like an iceberg melting. Like, it takes a while for you to go, okay, Gabriel Wolf, I see you. I get you. So I feel like as well, you feel like you've been on that journey with him as he grows. Therefore, he is the ultimate book boyfriend in that sense, because he's not just an easy one. He's not like, of course, with some of the ones I've talked through today, like with Lachlan, you're going to fall in love with Lachlan straight away because he's got a kid, he's nice to his kid. You're going to fall in love with Xander straight away because he's protective over Teddy. Like, this guy takes a little bit more warming up to, but once you warm up to him, it's so worth it. And I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that for him. But yeah, and also, getting to go on the back of a motorcycle. I would like to try that. Like, count me in. I would be quite happy to do that. So yeah, I think I just lived some extra fantasies in this one. Brings us to the end of the Ultimate Book Boyfriends. If you spent this Valentine's Day single, or if you should have been spending this Valentine's Day single, I see you. Make sure you've hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're notified when I post in the future. And do let me know in the comments who your ultimate book boyfriend is. And if you want a part 2 of this, where I dive into either like more romance, dark romance, fantasy, or anything specific, do just let me know in the comments. And I hope you have a lovely Sunday. Bye, my book lovelies.